My head was broken thrice. I had a broken leg. There was a particular time that the landlord warned her that if she actually lay hands on me, he was going to arrest her.
How do you get started? Simply, for example, you meet a client now. How do you get started to sort of define your work that you will do for this person? What are some of the things that you first consider before you go ahead to work with the individual?
I basically learn very fast and more with vision. So visual storytelling is just like communicating a message and information with visual. Is either you use graphics or design like flyer or banner, or you use infographics. There are so many ways you can communicate a story through visuals, or you basically use video. We all know of video. Hi, my name is Joy Nicholas, and I am a graphic designer, a brand identity specialist. I create visuals to communicate my client's message in a clear and concise manner to attract the right audience.
All right. So tell me, Joel, since when have you been in this business?
It started 2 years ago. That was 2022.
Tell me what led you to that?
Basically, after my NYSC, I couldn't get a job. My husband recommended I should start a teaching job, but I wasn't into it because of me. Basically, I like something I could just sit within my comfort zone and do, and I'll be cool with it. That will basically give me and I will also give value to people. So out of the NYSC, I couldn't get a job. Then over time of searching, I got frustrated and I just sat at home. So after a while, I was thinking and I was so depressed. Basically, I was very very depressed. I wasn't feeling fulfilled in as much as everything was available for me. The food, the house, everything, but there was those that joy of fulfillment because I wasn't impacting, I wasn't earning, I wasn't contributing my little cent into life or other people. So I got frustrated. Then one particular day, I was scrolling on Facebook. I saw this ad on affiliate marketing. Before then, I've been hearing of affiliate of earning online. You have a skill and you can earn online. But after this particular incident of us being scammed online, so anything online, my husband was not into it. But me, I wasn't discouraged. So when I saw this ad and I saw what they wrote, the write up, the copywriting, the write up about it, I said, this is something nice. I could easily tap into this and do it from the comfort of my home because it suits my one of my tastes and it's something I could do. So I bought the course. I actually borrowed money to buy the course because I don't have any money then, and I don't want to involve hobby because he wouldn't agree with it after the experience of the online scam and stuff. So I bought the course. I started promoting the course, and then I never understood anything about branding or branding and creating content, you being an authority and stuff like that. So I was just like, because how I saw it was every day, every time I come on, like I've always seen adverts of this person won 2 million, earned 2 million within 3 days. This another person earned 4 million within 3 days. Wow. So I started compiling this testimonial and posting it on my pages, on my social media pages, my Facebook and Twitter then, because I was trying to also build on Twitter. So I started posting it on Facebook. but nobody was practically looking at my face. I did this for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Nothing was coming up, and I was like, nothing. So I went back to my coach and told her that I see what is happening, and she said I should continue. I said okay, I continue. So one thing, affiliate marketing I got from affiliate. In as much as I got no result, I couldn't get any sales because of the way I understood it. I thought it was just like something you just post social media, social proof on social media, and people will start patronizing you. And one thing about me, I wasn't a social media freak. I don't post on social media. I don't even put my pictures on social media. So I don't do anything on social media. So all of a sudden I just came up and started posting testimonial, and who will be the audience that was going to buy from me. So after that, one thing I learned about, I joined networks that, so I go to events, and a Twitter space in particular that day. So an influencer was talking, and he said LinkedIn is a gold mine. In as much as I could just go there, and I said, wow, it's a gold mine. Ha, okay, fine. I'll go to LinkedIn and go and do my branding, my testimonial content creation there. So I went there, I started putting testimonial, but I realized something about LinkedIn. LinkedIn wasn't that type of platform that you can just go and start pasting testimonial. So after I retrieved from putting out testimonial and started ingesting everything, content. And one thing about LinkedIn, you definitely learn. So I started learning, buying courses, and through that process, I realized that it made me realize, because while I was growing up, I had this, and my growing up wasn't that palatable. So I I do have this injury inflicted by me by my guardian then. So anytime I have it, I remember I pick it out, because anytime it's being stitched up, I try to pick it out and use it to scramble on my use it to draw. I don't use pen or paper to draw them. I just use those blood of mice to travel something. So it made me realize, when we were talking about skills and it's always looking beautiful. So I realized that I could easily go into this space and into the graphics world and do something. So it took me to that experience when I was saying, you have to, I have these skills. You know how they brand on LinkedIn, you brand yourself. I'm a content creator. I'm a content strategist. So it took me down memory lane, because I have to ask myself, what do I want? What can I do? What is going to be convenient for me to actually give out, that when I'm doing it, I'm also enjoying it. So that was what led to me start going back to my memory lane and bringing out the skills of graphics. And I realized that you can easily modernize it. It's not those days of you have to use there are apps you can use to do amazing things with graphics. So that was how graphics was basically born out from me. So
Thank you so much for that. You see, here we talk a lot about storytelling. And even you yourself, you have said that you are into storytelling because you are into visual storytelling, right? Just now, you were talking of having growing up with a particular experience that was not encouraging for you. Could you share more on that? Because people are looking to connect with you authentically, in that they want to know what is really your background story. Because if you don't do that, people see you at a superficial level. So help us understand that experience you are referring to.
yeah, thank you so much. I am the last born of two girls, and I didn't have the privilege of having a normal parent, like a normal loving family, a mom and a dad. I never met my dad until I was 18, so I never knew him. So I was physically conceived and left. So, and my mom, she's a unique character. God bless her, by the way. So for bringing me to the world in spite of everything. So she was a unique character that uh, she had this. a special way of being a mother in her own way. So after I was giving birth, and any when I anytime when she gave birth to me, and I wasn't like I was more like something they don't want basically. So I was not that child that they want. So it was just like, let me just do it and let me do it for. So I didn't have that connection or love from her. So over time she tends to leave me out and go off. So she couldn't take it anymore because I was more like a hindrance. So she took me to my grandparents. That's my from my dad's side. She took me there. So after I got there, grandma also had some children with her. So and I had this big auntie that she suggested I could go and stay with her because grandma is already old, and bringing up a 6 years old to 7 years old child all over is not something easy. So this auntie of mine said, okay, fine, I'll take her in and I'll bring her up. So I went to stay with this auntie. So growing up with this auntie, hmm, growing up with this auntie is a wonderful experience. Let me just put it like that. A wonderful experience that taught me so many things in life, in as much as it's a very traumatic one. Let me put it like that, a very traumatic one. And I learned so much. I just try to tend to bring out the good side of everything I experienced with her. Growing up with her, she has this unique type of discipline. I'm so sorry because it brings me down to memory and it's not a good one. So growing up with her, this type that has this unique discipline that me as a teenage then, as a young girl growing up, there are so many things I basically don't understand, and I'm expecting her to put me through. That was the main purpose I was giving to her. But this lady saw me as more like a slave that I could use that she could use anyhow. So but I'll just classify it that her bringing up, I guess, it's a way of understanding brought up. So she tends to treat me like this. I don't know what to call it. In Yoruba, we call it Ọlọ́run ló mú ẹ wá. It's God that bring you, so I'm going to use you anyhow. And so growing up with her was not something I would not wish anybody, Sha.
Was there any particular incident that you are referring to that you didn't particularly like, or maybe, for example, maybe you misbehave, she corrects you by maybe flogging or things like that? Is that what you are referring to?
Yeah, flogging is a soft language in regards to mine because in her space they are much like a community, and they have these young girls that they bring together. They always, because I know of a friend also that also have another friend. So beating is more like a soft language because my head was broken thrice. I had a broken leg. There was a particular time that the landlord warned her that if she actually lay hands on me, he was going to arrest her. so so it was we those girls of those days. This lady had a unique way of disciplining us in their own respective perspective of discipline. So in March, she she brings me up in that aspect that is not very palatable. I mustn't do anything. If you are being spoken to basically, you can't look up. You can't look at somebody directly in their eyes like this. You are going to eat anything within the vicinity. Like she basically looks anything around you. You are definitely taking a bite of that by hitting or slapping or whatever she feels that thing can do as at that moment. So that was how I was basically brought up my own unique style. But thank God for grace.
Do you know why she was doing that to you? Was it because you were really misbehaving as a person, or because she had a bad character of maltreating you?
She has three daughters basically, and I can say for sure the way she treats me and the way she treats the daughters are not the same. So from that aspect, is I'm not her. I don't. But to me, I've changed my orientation to see it as more discipline, as a way of discipline. It has helped me to become who I am basically. But she the other point remains the way she treats me then and the way she treats her three children, her three girls, they were all three girls, so it's not the same basically. So
I get it. Now, what lesson did you learn from that as you move into your own world today? You are helping people to build their brand, and you are creating your space on the internet. What lesson did you learn from that time that you grew up with that auntie?
I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot. It taught me to be disciplined. Let me reference back to a particular incident that do happen then. Whenever I do something, or maybe people are around, or she feel I do something, me one thing about me is I'm will headed. I have coconut head. So if I'm determined to do something, you can't take me back. So I guess she saw that as a threat. So anything I say I want to do, anything I notice that I want to do, I'll basically do it. So anytime I go, or maybe she tells me to do something, I don't do it, and people are around, she will leave me, and in the night when I'm sleeping, she will come up with her cane from the sleep and start um, start doing justice to me. So one thing is this occurrence do make me stay awake in the night, makes me very awake in the night. So it keeps me up, and so I'll be kind of monitoring anytime cane is coming. So over time, I get accustomed to the fact of not basically sleeping in the night. Even till now, I don't sleep. I consider myself as a night owl, so I don't sleep in the night. So one thing it makes me one basically experience is that, because right now as building a brand, it makes me um put put my mind, like when I have something in mind, I go for it. I no matter whatever, because that experience, you have to have the strong will. You know, when you as a child, and you have not that you are stubborn all through, so you have to be active. So it makes me kind of be disciplined in a way, because I have to stay awake to be watchful of her. So it makes me kind of know how to discipline myself, that anything I want, I basically go for it in that regard.
Thank you so much for that, John. Now, let's put you in the position of that woman. Now, you have a son. If your son is doing exactly what you were doing, and you are in the position of your auntie, what would you do?
No, I will never do that. No way. That upbringing is a very, very wrong upbringing. It's not something. No, 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 no. I can't even. I have people that bring their children to me. No, I will never do that. No matter, it is regardless. All I have to do with my understanding and where I am right now, I never wish to treat anybody's child in such a manner, because that was a very horrible experience, and it only takes grace on me to actually go out of that experience. And so I wouldn't want to traumatize another individual, another human being in such manner I was. No matter what the child do, because we are guardians, we are meant to help this child grow. So no matter the main thing is that this child doesn't understand, doesn't know that there is a consequence for what he or she is doing. So it is your responsibility to practically take up the child and tell the child, this is wrong, this is not the way to go. But to basically brutalize the child like that, no. No, I can't do that. No, that's a very wrong upbringing for a child. For me, no.
Do you think a lot of parents around having this kind of attitude where maybe there is this extra punishment to the children because the children are not doing what they want the children to do? I mean, do you think it's a cultural thing looking at what is happening around you?
I don't think it's a cultural thing. I feel it's the individual. It's the individual because in this circle of people I grew up, in as much as we have some girls that because I have a friend of mine, I can never forget this lady. This her auntie basically she basically tears her up. You know that I have a good skin. So my marks are not very obvious. I can't even see them now. So and it's kind of painful. So because it's just more like an evidence purpose. So I feel it's more like the individual who you are. It's not a cultural thing like that because I've seen other parents, I've seen them discipline a child, I've seen them correct a child on something that is wrong, and they don't go that extreme to correct a child. No, I don't think it's cultural. In as much as we all know African parents and African parent styling is kind of maybe rough or hard somehow, but to that extreme is I don't think it's more of the individual, of the person.
Thank you. And you said that this is what you are, of course, this is the last question I will ask you here before we really move deep into what you are doing in graphic storytelling or visual storytelling as it were. So, how did this actually help you in your work as a visual storyteller? Then, of course, you also help brands to stand up in the market. Be brief on that.
Yeah, it helped me uh, communicate because in regards of communication, in regards of while I was growing up, one thing they hindered me from it was the aspect of communication. You couldn't express yourself. So anytime I meet a client, I tend to ask them, what do you want? How do you want it? I tend to communicate with them to understand what they basically want and how I can bring it to life with graphics and design.
So, the question I would like to ask there is first, how do you get started? Say, maybe, for example, you meet a client now. How do you get started to sort of define your work that you would do for this person? What are some of the things that you first consider before you go ahead to work with the individual?
Okay, I'll give a scenario here. Like on LinkedIn, I hop into somebody, maybe he sent me a connection request. I accepted. So I go to immediately I accepted your connection request. I send you, hello, my name is Joy Nicholas. You are welcome to my space. I I hop into your profile. I check your profile. I check the banner, the feature section. I'm just basically using LinkedIn as an example here. So I check your banner, your feature section, maybe your profile picture. Then I come into your DM. After giving my analysis, I've gone through it. I see it's not optimized. So I first of all I compliment you first because everybody likes compliments. So I tend to appreciate and compliment you. So then I immediately you respond. Your response will trigger if I would continue my conversation because some people can be so hostile. So when you respond, maybe it's in a positive manner. So I come in from, I love your banner, but there is something you could actually change about it. There's about the font, the color. You didn't brand yourself in a specified color that suits your niche. So after that, I basically list out the things that he or she needs to do. So I'll give my suggestion on how you can fix this thing. So if you require my service, I might not pitch at that moment. So the person will continue with the conversation. And after that, maybe then I can just tell the person I could easily help you brand yourself in a unique way that will make you stand out and attract the right audience. So that is how I approach people basically on LinkedIn because that's where my traffic comes in basically.
All right. Now, tell me more about visual storytelling because that is more like what you do often, correct?
One thing about visual storytelling is just communicating in visuals. And one thing I that inspired me about that is because me myself, I like to learn in visuals. I basically learn very fast and more with visuals. So visual storytelling is just like uh, communicating a message and information with visual. Is either you use graphics design like flyer or banner, or you use infographics. There are so many ways you can communicate a story through visuals, or you basically use video. We all know of videos that you use to communicate a visual story. It's just like expressing yourself in a unique way. You want somebody to buy something from you, and you like to meet them, so you put it in a very attractive component. There's so many things involved in flyer. There's the fonts, there's the type of the hues, the different type of wood, there's the shape. So many things comes together to basically form a flyer, a very attractive flyer. So you have in that manner, you are basically communicating and telling a story. And these things in graphics make something. So what you use, um, different elements you use says different stories.
All right, now, when you look at brands out there that they, of course, you would like to pitch to because perhaps you see that they are making error that need to be corrected so that they can sort of better stand out in their industry. Now, when you look back to maybe some of the brands that you have examined, what would you say are some of the common error they make that you can help them to correct?
In this regard, I'll come from two dimensions. One thing I realized is they have a wrong perspective about branding in general. Branding involves a lot of things. There is the visual aspect. There is also the branding aspect where you need to take your audience through a journey. So, in the visual aspect, there are so many things they feel in to brand themselves in a unique way is somehow expensive. They feel is just they feel is something. Is it not some people basically say, is it not just color? Brand is not just about color. It's just not about color, because that thing you are calling color basically means something. It basically communicates something to your target audience. It's either it attract them based on your needs, or it appall them to go away. Um so in this regard, they feel it's very expensive. They have this very unique perspective that it's just a simple thing that you can just easily do by yourself. So those are two major things that they feel that branding is just all about, and it's a very wrong perspective.
What are some of the best way to actually brand a business? Say maybe, for example, this business now don't even know where to start from, and they contract you to help them out. What are some of the things that need to be put in place, and how would you approach it? Just getting them stand out. Okay, you are using color, you are using graphic, you are using all your tools to be able to make this company emerge in the industry.
So first of all, I'll basically ask a question of how what do you want? What is in your mind? Because it's from your mind I can basically paint a picture of what you want. So I'll ask, what do you want? What do you have in there? What do you want to express? What do you want the world to know? What do you want people to buy? So through this process, let me give an example. I once had a client. She was on LinkedIn, but she never branded herself. So uh, I asked her a full question. She said I should create I guess it's a banner. I can't remember. It was my early days in the design world. So she said I should create some a banner for her. So I came in, I asked her, Ma, she just said I should use any color, I should just do it as I deem fit. I said, no, Ma, I can't do it as I deem fit, because this is all about you. And you are the one that is going to put yourself out there. You are the one that is going to put in your work. You are going to put in a content. If you are going to take your audience on a journey for them to be able to even trust you to buy something from you. So I had to educate her and then ask her some few questions because through my question I realized she had a favorite color which resonated with her, and coincidentally it resonated with what she tends to want to put out there. So in that regard, I branded her in, I made the banner suit her favorite color, so that one thing me I do say about branding yourself in a unique style, your visuals in a unique style, is that one thing, it has to move you. You have to be passionate about it. If you are not passionate about it, you can't be dedicated. You can't have fun while doing it. And something you don't have fun, you're just being frustrated about it all over. It's not the right result will not be there. So I educated her, and thank God she's flying high right here on LinkedIn in amazing ways now.
Thank you for that. Now, but why is storytelling important in the whole of the equation? Because now we are talking of visual storytelling at the end of the day. So, what is the importance of storytelling in the conversation?
So everybody likes apropos. Everybody likes I'm a boss. So everybody wants to know what is up, and people resonate with story because they feel connected to it in as much as the story. They feel this person has gone through it. It resonates with me. I could feel the pain. You can feel the connection within. So visual storytelling helps you to connect with the right audience, with that target audience you want to speak with, to help them to get the right result they want from that particular project or brand or whatever they want to brand themselves visually in.
Now, you are looking into the future, Joy. What do you see yourself going in your business and your graphic in what you're doing? Tell me more about that.
Wow. I have a big dream pertaining to that. Yeah. So, in this regard, one thing I would like to go more is to have a branding agency that basically is just specified on branding individuals to stand out in their various niches, and to have create a software that could help people in as much this software is irrespective of the aspect of that branding is expensive, and is it not just color. One thing I'll definitely infuse into this software is this templates that will be infused into them will basically be for different niches, because it's going to come with colors and fonts and elements basically that resonate with that particular niche. So you can easily go there and something, edit whatever you want to edit, just like how Canva is. You can easily edit something and it will resonate with your audience. It's not like in as much as we experts, we can come in and help you fix it, but you can easily go in there and fix a couple of things by yourself and do it, and it will look super awesome. It will get the right attention, the right objective you want it to achieve for whatever reason.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Now, people that are listening to you now, they are interested in connecting with you. They want to do business with you. So share with them, how can they reach you?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn by the name Joy Nicholas. I'm also on Twitter at also Joy Nick oh 07. I'm also on Instagram. You can basically find me on all social media. On Facebook also. I'm on Facebook at Joy Nicholas. All my social media has Joy Nicholas, but for Instagram and Twitter, it's at for Instagram is Joy Nick 909. For Twitter is Joy Nick Joy Nick. So you can basically find me on social media on any platform, or Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. But my most active social media platform you can easily get to me is LinkedIn basically. So I'm very, very super active on LinkedIn. I just started building on Twitter, so it's not something, but you can definitely find me there.
All right, Joy, thank you. Now, what would be your final thought here? Maybe a kind of a message you want to leave behind for the people.
Yeah, my final thought here will be um, brand yourself. Is branding involve a lot, but your visuals is something very, very important because it attracts or appall the target audience you want, the desired results you want. So brand yourself in a unique way that move the talk.
Thank you so much, Joy. Nicola, it has been a pleasure talking with you.
That's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.